think in the first 10 years of our existence, the most important role CETF has really provided in closing the digital divide has been the collaborative force we've been able to be for the disparate entities around the state. We've taken our mandate, we've used our power and leveraged that to bring everybody together to move the state forward cohesively as one. I think in our first 10 years, we've been very successful. It's really been a pleasure to serve on the board and see all that we've been able to accomplish, from setting up the California Telehealth Network to our School to Home project. But if you had to ask me what our biggest accomplishment is, I think it's our leverage. Our ability to take our seed capital and strategically use that to bring over $300 million of investment to California, all for the purpose of closing the digital divide. And I guess if I had to name a second one, I think the policy work that we've done on telecommunication company mergers, where as a condition of those mergers, we've been able to elicit significant public benefit from the corporations for Californians, has also been hugely important. When you look at the totality of the number of houses that are going to be wired and the offerings to low-income customers, that's been a significant accomplishment of CETF as well. Well, despite our success for the last 10 years, I think CETF has a couple of challenges left, really twofold. One, rural areas. The infrastructure deployment in rural areas is below 50%, and we need to close that. There's significant economic benefit to getting rural California online, to connecting remote rural tourism areas or farmers to the internet so that they can better position their goods on the international market. That's a huge challenge. It's very expensive, and that's something that we're focused on and we need to do. The second, and perhaps even more important challenge for CETF in the next 5 years, is urban adoption. The meaningful or functional digital divide in California is at 30%. So focusing on the 30% of Californians who lack meaningful internet access is really going to be the challenge coming up for CETF. A small percentage of that is people in rural areas where infrastructure isn't deployed, and we're focused on that. The larger percentage of that 30% who lack the meaningful access is in urban areas, and we really need to focus on connecting the urban poor, people with disabilities, seniors, people who are immigrants, don't speak English as a first language. There's a number of factors that we see in the data that are predictive of who isn't going to be on the internet. But we recognize that it's important for them to be on the internet. There's a Pew study that came out earlier this year that shows that people who use the internet to find a job find that job much more quickly than people who don't, and they keep that job much longer than people who don't. So if you're trying to use the internet as an economic driver and a driver of other things, it's vitally important to get the 30% of people online.